I mean, I love my work, so I feel I'm one of the fortunate people. Probably one of my most favorite things is working with the volunteers in our program. You know, getting to work with a diverse group of people, always challenging you to sort of be the best version of yourself. That's probably one of my favorites. I also love the clinical work in terms of the clients that I work with. Every time I work with them, it reminds me of the resilience of the human spirit. So I just find it inspiring, and I feel really honored and privileged to be able to work with all of the people that I get to.
The lucky thing for me being involved in outreach, and especially the follow-up program, is that I can work with clients over an extended period of time. So I see women from the beginning, when they're just out of shelter and still pretty confused and upset. And some of them I might see at a later date where they're making real progress in their life and beginning to see that their life might make a turn for the better at some point. So that's very rewarding. Residential services and other departments don't get to see that.
I mean, people think that they're different than the rest of us. No, they're not. They have the same hopes, the same dreams. They may not have the same lifestyle, but a lot of us don't have the same lifestyle. They may not have the same education or experiences, but we're not all like either. We're all diverse as women, as people of this province and this city, and so are they. And they are just absolutely, positively the greatest bunch of people to work with. They are wonderful, you know? I don't know how people seem to think that maybe, you know, if you come and you work with people in the other side of town or whatever, that you're going to have violence and people are going to be nasty to you and everything else. Doesn't happen. You know, if you treat people with respect, they treat you with respect back. And, you know, that's what Sage House is all about. It's an entry-level, street-level, I guess is the best word for it, program where anyone can come in. There's no judgment. There's lots of things that they can take advantage of, food and that kind of thing. All those Maslow things that people need to meet their life requirements. And also meet people who are going to treat them like normal.
Probably the most rewarding thing for me is, like, every day I feel that we're making a difference out there, but it's really when you're interacting with a woman over and over again and her response is kind of like it's a really casual interaction, like she just takes the kit and goes. But it's so rewarding when I see that she's trusting us now and the rapport is there and she is asking us for more. And we're really able to connect her with services. So
definitely working with the children, just their innocence and their openness and you know, their resiliency too is very rewarding. Just to get the opportunity to spend time with them and you know, even make one small change, you know, or help them learn what to do if they do go back home, what to do, you know, the next time there's a fight, how to keep themselves safe, who they can talk to, and how to take care of themselves.
Well, I suppose this is a complaint of many agencies funded by the government, but we just never have enough money to work to optimum levels.
I think the challenges that the sexual assault program faces is the increasing number of contacts that we have with clients and with our volunteers. And only having 2.5 staff people to kind of make sure that all those things happen. It doesn't seem like our numbers are going to decrease. The number of contacts that we have are going to decrease. So how do we keep fulfilling the needs of the program with only a few staff people working behind the scenes?
Oh, I don't think that they are given the same respect, some of the jobs that we do here, as other jobs. We work from a prevention model, so we're trying to prevent things from happening, and it seems, in my opinion, that the government often doesn't know how to put a value on prevention. It's sort of like something happens and then they can, you know, provide dollars to fix it, to cure it. But they don't like to spend money on preventing things from happening. So I don't think there's the same value. They don't see it because they don't have a measurable outcome.
I think one of the challenges is definitely having to acknowledge the breadth and the scope of the issue. and sort of having to face the reality that any woman, anytime, anywhere can be sexually assaulted. And so sort of having to live with that constant sort of reminder. That, along with the sheer busyness of the program, the volume of calls, the number of people coming forward looking for service, it just continues to increase and increase and increase, and funding doesn't. So we're forever trying to stretch ourselves in a million different directions to try and cover as much as we can. And so that's a constant struggle. So basically that, you know, the nature of the work combined with the busyness, the sheer volume, creates an impact. So an emotional impact, sometimes a physical impact, a spiritual impact. It's definitely shaken my worldview. It's challenged my sense of safety. It's challenged my sense of security, my sense of trust. So there are definitely those kinds of challenges that are inherent in the kind of work that we do.
Well, I think it's the ongoing challenges of sort of trying to juggle everything with limited resources. So we continue to do that. I mean, we're creative organizers, so that's a part of it. But absolutely, I mean, one of the challenges is resource. I think one of the other challenges is also the impact of the work. So when we're that busy, that has an impact on our workers that are attending the hospital, seeing clients. And so wanting to always make sure that we're a soft place for them to fall and making sure that, you know, they're offering this valuable service, but we do everything we can to take care of them as well. I mean, we're in a program that hasn't had any new monies. We've had some reallocation of internal monies more recently, so we had an additional half-time position, and that's the first increase in resources at all in the 25 years that I've been here. But absolutely, we need new monies, because 2.5 staff people is not a lot to run a program that has the volume that we do and provides the necessary work that we provide.
Absolutely, there is a demand for more outreach workers. Ideally, like right now, we're working with the school hours, because that was our original mandate, to make sure that there was no women working in the school zones during that time. But there's so many women that are out when we're not out. You know, when it gets dark outside, and you know, that's typically when things pick up. So ideally, if we could work 24 hours and there was other outreach workers to take those shifts, that would be ideal.
I believe that more women know that abuse is wrong. The government has done very well in publicizing this issue, but knowing it intellectually and being able to follow through and break off an abusive relationship is something that takes time, and it takes a lot of support. And if we lose our children's program, and if we lose funding for follow-up program, for example, more and more women will drop out just because they're not getting the level of support that they need. And there's a cost to society if women are being abused. You have children who are growing up in situations like that, and they are continuing the cycle of violence in their own lives when they grow up. There's a cost to society from health and injury-related situations. So we all pay one way or the other if these women aren't properly supported.
I mean, we're always struggling. We're, you know, funded, you know, government-funded agency, and there's always lack of funding. We try to work within what we have, but there can always be more. You know, there's one of me, so I can only do so much. Recently, too, we've been, you know, notified that our program may be having some cuts because some of it's not properly funded for. Only my position's actually funded for, so it's going to make it difficult to provide services to families if we don't have some child support, like some child care and some help for the women, and so they can attend groups and counseling and what they need to do to move on.
I mean, a big part of what we do is crisis response, sort of an intervention, which I think is essential. It's absolutely an essential service, but at the same time, it would be really helpful to have more funding and more resource and more bodies to be able to continue to provide that service, as well as also providing something that's more, what some people might say prevention. I'd like to use the word awareness around the issue, to do something where you feel like you're more part of the solution as opposed to simply always being kind of a Band-Aid.
every 3 years we have to reapply for funding, and actually this May our funding, we have to reapply for it, and it might be at risk. So without outreach, we have the people that are on the street that don't come to Sage House won't have any services.
There's some needs that we do have trouble meeting, like emergency housing and addictions. Some of them don't want to go to detox because it's male and female. Like there's blocks that we encounter that we really can't get around. So there are times where more could be done, but we can't.
I would like to see at least 10, I think we have enough work for 10 more people to work in the sexual assault program. That's how completely overwhelmed we are at this point.
The phones just keep ringing, the requests for service keep coming in, the hospital calls. We're attending to people at the hospital who have oftentimes just been sexually assaulted and then present at the hospital as a result of that. Anywhere from 30 and on a month. And so that's just the hospital calls alone where the support and advocacy happen. We have then the ongoing counseling on top of that, the crisis lines on top of that, the public education on top of that, the volunteer management. So it's the demand just increases.
Oh, one thing that would be wonderful if we could do it would be 24-hour service, because we're not here on the weekends, we're not here in the evenings, in the night, you know, so providing some sort of 24-hour service where when they have a problem they can get some help.
Say you're off on Friday and Monday, Saturday and Sunday there's no children's program, so there's 4 days that you're not able to meet with your client. You know, so if we were able to have children's program on the weekend, it would be huge. Res support, if we could have res support on the weekends, because counselors are busy doing res support, doing children's program if necessary. I mean, we tend to not, so that there's a big loss there. That's 4 days out of the week. There are other counselors who meet with your clients, but you know, the consistency, because they build up a trust with you.
Why is CUPE's Respect campaign important? I think that it's important because it's raising awareness of the people who work down here in the North End.
I think the Respect program is important because I don't think people are really aware of the kind of work that people are doing, and so even just to draw awareness to what people are doing out in the community and how important the work is, and sometimes how it goes unacknowledged, and what happens when we do that. And so needing to have more support for the people that are doing the kind of work that they do in the community. So,
as a nurse, I see a lot of community workers who are social workers. Mm-hmm. They have social work degrees, and the wages that are paid to them are really not enough in my estimation. That they need to get better money for the job they do.